guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I decided to do this romantic, soft glam kind of look. I realized it's been a minute since I sat down and actually showed you guys my current favorite products. So in today's video, you're gonna see all my favorite products from start to finish. So if you wanna see how to get this look right here, then just keep on watching. Alright you guys, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm so excited. I was having such a good skin day, except I had this one giant pimple on my face. But what are you gonna do, right? Hormones, hormones, hormones. So the first thing we're going to do is take this Too Faced primer. This is the Primed and Peachy primer. And as you can see, I cut off the other end because it just stopped pumping out. And when I cut it off, I saw that there's so much more product in there. So if you have this primer and it just isn't pumping any more primer out, then try cutting it off and I promise you, you'll find so much more product in there. And then just to keep the primer from drying out, I just leave it in this little Ziploc and it's good to go. So the next thing I'm going to use is the Loreal Glotion. I just wanted to have my skin be really glowy and dewy. So I'm just putting this all over the high points of my face and I'm just going to buff it in with this Fenty Beauty foundation brush. Now I'm just going to take my Fenty Beauty foundation. I believe I'm in the shade 310 and I'm just kind of squirting it all over my face, and then I'm going to blend it out with the Fenty Beauty foundation brush, and then I'm going to further blend out all the harsh lines or streaks or anything with my sponge. And the sponge I use is from Sonia Kashuk. I just get it from Target and I really like it. I kind of prefer it over the Beauty Blender. Prime my lids with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Now we're going in with the ABH Soft Glam palette, and I'm first picking up this shade called Dusty Rose, and I'm just going to buff that all along the crease. And I didn't really know what I was going to do at first, so you're going to see me kind of buff it along the crease, and then later on I decided I wanted to do a halo eye. So I'm just putting this on the outer and inner parts of my eye and also along the crease, and I'm just building this up until I get it to the intensity that I want. To intensify the outer and inner part of my eye, I'm taking the shade Mulberry on a little like bullet brush from Morphe, and I'm just going to place the product with this brush and then go and blend it out with the same brush that I used for Dusty Rose. And I'm also picking up a little bit more of Dusty Rose and a little bit of Mulberry at the same time, just to kind of help intensify it and really get the colors to pop. To create the halo effect, I'm first applying some concealer to the center of my eyelid, and just so that there's not too much concealer on my lid, I'm going to pat it out with my finger, and then I'm going to take some of the darker shade called Mulberry on the bullet brush again and just blend out the edges so that it's nice and seamless. using this like eye shimmer from Pure Cosmetics. I'm not exactly sure what the exact name is, but I will definitely have that link down below if you're interested. Now, you don't have to do this step if you don't want to, but I like to do it just so that my shadows really pop in the center of that lid. So now I'm going back to the Soft Glam palette and I'm taking this pink shade. Again, I don't remember the name, but it's just a nice like rose gold kind of pink. And I'm just going to apply that all over the center where we applied the concealer and that shimmery base. After I have that as intense as I want, I'm going to go back in with Mulberry on the fluffier brush and just intensify the outer and inner corners. And I'm just blending out the edges where the shimmer meets the matte shadow so that there's no harsh lines at all. And then I also put on mascara and applied some lashes off camera, which I will have it all listed down below what I used exactly. Now I'm just going in with concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way. I'll have my exact shade also listed down below. But I'm just going underneath my eyes, on my nose, a little bit on my forehead, and a little bit on my upper lip. And the way that I've been loving doing it is just first blending out with a brush and then going in with a beauty blender afterwards. And by doing that, you're getting as much coverage as you possibly can from the products, and then you're also just blending out the harsh edges with the sponge later. So that's the way I've been loving doing it. You can do it however you want to, but this is my way. Then you want to make sure that there's no creases underneath your eyes, and then go in with your setting powder. And of course, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Light Medium. This has been my favorite for a long time. This is one product that has not changed for a while, and I don't really see it changing for a long time because look at how flawless my base looks now. Brows, this is the combination that I've been using lately. It's the Benefit Precisely My Brow and the brow gel as well. So I start off by just brushing my brows through so that it's not like tangly, because I have really thick brows. So I like to smooth everything out and then just fill in where there's gaps. And then I just brush through my brows one more time just to make sure that my brows are looking really nice and soft. And then just to match the bottom lash line to the top, I'm taking the shade Mulberry on that same pencil brush again and just buffing that all along the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take the shade Dusty Rose just to buff all of that out again and just make everything look really nice and seamless and smoky. After putting on some mascara, moving on to bronzer, and this is the Take Home the Bronze bronzer from the Balm Cosmetics. And this is actually a really old Bare Minerals brush, but I'm sure you can find something very similar on like Morphe or BH Cosmetics or something. And I'm just applying that to my cheekbones, on my forehead, and along my jawline. To contour my nose, I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin Medium Sculpting Powder, and this isn't actually the brush that I normally use to contour my nose. But if you want to see an in-depth video of how I actually contour my nose, and I will link that on the top right hand side of the screen right now. For blush, I'm using this one from Tarte in the shade Party, and I'm going to apply that to the apples of my cheeks, and then also just brush it across my nose so that it kind of gives you that sunburnt, youthful kind of look. And then I'm taking the ABH Amrezy Highlighter and just applying that to the tops of my cheekbones. And as you can see, I'm going very light-handed with it because it is so pigmented. And I'm also going to apply that to the tops of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, the inner corner of my eyes, and also to my brow bones. I love this highlighter. It is so good. So these lips got a little bit complicated, but the first thing I went in with was the Annabelle lip liner in the shade Spice. And then I went on top of that with an Anastasia lipstick in the shade Kiss. And I know it looks okay on camera, but in person it was just a little bit too warm for me. So then I went on top of that with a Wet n Wild liquid lipstick in the shade Rebel Rose. And then on top of that, I went on top with a NYX Liquid Suede lipstick in the shade Sandstorm. And then I topped it off with the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. I know that was a lot, but if I were to redo it, I probably would have just done the lip liner, Wet n Wild Rebel Rose, and then the Fenty Gloss Bomb to top it off. And I would have stopped there. So you don't have to do all that if you don't want to. But I'm just going to set my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter. And once you're done with that, you are done with the look. Oh, I also saw Desi Perkins do this once where she just concealed her like pimples with some brow pencil and just made it into a little mole. So I was trying that here. I don't know if it really worked or not, but I did it and that's what you're looking at. Alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I know it got a little messy in between there, but I hope you were able to follow through if you were following this as a tutorial. I definitely want to take it back to old school YouTube and just sit down and play with some makeup. So if you guys want to see any specific looks, be sure to let me know down below. But other than that, that's all that I have to say. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.